Give it up for yourselves for beating the heat. This is the 4th episode of Phoenix Tonight, and some of my favorite things come in 4s. Of course, the Monkees, the Golden Girls, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Roseanne Barr's chins. Some of my favorite things come in 4s. Ooze already?
Too soon, bro.
She's in the news this week, Roseanne, because she endorsed Donald Trump for president. Roseanne endorsed Donald Trump for president. Of course, we know her judgment is already skewed ever since she endorsed Tom Arnold as husband. It was a hot week this week, wasn't it? Hot in Phoenix, hot across the country. It was so hot this week. Thank you. It was so hot this week that Donald Trump was sweating tang. It was so hot. It was so hot this week, Hillary Clinton was wearing shorts suits. It was that hot. It was so hot this week that at Comic-Con here in Phoenix, my Hydro Man cosplay was au naturel. It was that hot. Right now in Phoenix, there is a 90s themed concert going on. And it's so hot there, Vanilla Ice is being billed as Vanilla Slush. It's that hot right now. That's right, there's a 90s themed concert going on in Phoenix right now featuring Salt and Peppa. Of course, I'm not talking about the hip hop female act, I'm talking about Coolio's hair. He's distinguished now, he's a little older. Salt and Peppa. Speaking of 90s musicians, Axl Rose was in the news this week. Did you hear about this? Axl Rose is asking Google to remove all images of him from a year ago because he was overweight. So Axl Rose is asking Google to take those pictures down. Of course, when they do that, they have to take down all of the music he released at that time as well. Take Me Down to the Paradise Bakery. You guys remember that? Axl's big hit, Sweet Roll of Mine. You guys remember that? November Rain of Gravy, the Thanksgiving ballad. It's a Thanksgiving ballad. Guns N' Roses is known for their famous album Appetite for Destruction. Axl Rose, just known for his appetite, apparently. No destruction, heavy in carbs. Speaking of obscure celebrities, Richard Simmons was in the news. He's apparently been MIA for the past several years, and people are presuming that it's because he's been transitioning into a woman. The proof is in the pudding because he's putting out a new workout regimen, a new video series, Sweating to the Ovaries, is coming out. I'm not producing it, I'm just talking to you about it. I might be in the background. Look for the yellow leotard. There's a sex cruise that's going to roll out in September. A company is launching a swingers cruise in September, and this cannot end well. You know what I'm saying? The seafood buffet is not the only place you could find crabs on a swingers cruise. Okay? People worry when they go on cruises about getting seasick, right? You go on the swingers cruise, you're going to worry about getting hepatitis seasick, okay? It's dangerous. But if you're going to do it, treat yourself. Get the Titanic suite. Something's bound to go down in the Titanic suite on the swingers cruise. Are you guys ready for an awesome episode of Phoenix Tonight? The hosts of Two Gay Geeks, a local podcast here in the Valley, Ben and Keith are with us. Give it up for Ben and Keith. The organizer of Untidy Secrets, a storytelling in zine swap held every final Friday at Ash Avenue Comics. Sarah R. is going to talk to us tonight. And local poetry legend, one of the Valley's best published poets, Shantae Orion is here. This is Phoenix Tonight!
You need to send me a shorter one.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You got like 5 steps, man.
Well, generally speaking, I would have taken a sip of the water, perhaps perused the audience for looks of disappointment. Marty Scott, everybody, sound man. Give it up for Marty Scott. Designer of that beautiful Phoenix Tonight logo you see hanging there emblazoned in duct tape. made by one of our guests last month, the Stuck Duck, Micah Garcia. So that logo was designed by Marty and recreated and duct taped there by our friend Micah. Coming hot off of a Comic-Con here in
Literally.
Phoenix. Hot off of a Comic-Con, quite literally. And at these Comic-Cons, people dress up as their favorite characters. It's become a cornerstone of Comic-Con culture. And I'm an exhibiting artist at these shows, and I meet fellow artists that see these cosplay characters firsthand. And I asked a few local artists if they would draw some of the kookiest cosplay they saw last weekend here in Phoenix at the Comic-Con. So I'm going to share some of those drawings that these guys were kind enough to give to the show with you right now. Again, these are some of the craziest cosplay costumes that these guys saw firsthand at the Phoenix Comic-Con. Do we have a little bumper, a little music?
I got my Trump music.
Let's do it. Let's see.
Maybe I have my Trump music.
Uh-oh.
There's my Trump.
Comic-Con cosplay.
If he's elected, I hope they play that when he comes out to address the nation.
So if you're here in the audience, you've received one of our collectible programs. These will be in glass cases in collectible stores in the future. Who knows what time-traveling youth may buy one, go back in time, and alter the timeline by buying one of these. But right now you have it, and it has all of these artists plugged. If you're watching on YouTube, in the description of this video, you'll see the websites where you could find these guys and their work. But the first one is by Birdie Burdishaw, the creator of the web series Bunny Vomit. And when you look at his, remember that sometimes a cosplayer doesn't take the heat into consideration when they're putting together their costume. So what starts as a simple homage to his favorite character becomes a small lesson in torture. At least that's what this guy learned when his Hellboy cosplay became hot as Hellboy. This next one is by Tommy Cannon, the creator of Fred the Mustard Packet. Some comic book characters are just too scary for little kids, and Comic-Con organizers say, you know what, if you could tone that down a little bit, that'd be great. So a character like Ghost Rider turns into this Toast Rider. He doesn't mind if you take a picture with him, but he needs a little bread. If you're gonna. This next one is by John Derek West. It's important to stay well-nourished and hydrated when you're walking around on the con floor. But since snack bar prices are so expensive, some cosplayers have learned to incorporate the snacks into their costume. This guy took it too far, though, when he dressed up as Iron Deficiency Man. Apparently clams are very high in iron. So this is educational as well as mildly amusing. JP Manzanares knows that he's a local artist as well. Some cosplayers can't help but express their political views with their costumes, especially when it comes to characters that get angry and transform into a brightly colored caricature of himself. No, I'm not talking about the Incredible Hulk. I'm talking about the Uncredible Trump. Trump, Hulk usually says Hulk smash, Trump is Trump tweet. Trump tweet! Finally, this last one is by The Janimal. You can see his work at thejanimal.com. He saw a guy dressed up as Iceman from the X-Men, but it was so hot that he melted. So, Iceman from the X-Men. And that was Kooky Comic-Con Cosplay. Awesome.